The gloves hit the floor. Leather on polished wood. The sound cracked through the gym like a gunshot. Malik Rowe didn't look up. His hand stayed wrapped around the mop handle. Cleaning solution dripped onto imported Japanese canvas worth more than most people's cars. I said pick them up. Sterling Vance stood 6 feet away. Designer compression shirt. Third-degree black belt tied perfect around his waist. Jaw tight with the kind of confidence money buys and privilege protects. The gym went quiet. Not silent. Quiet. The difference mattered. 75 stories above Manhattan, floor-to-ceiling windows framed Central Park like a painting nobody could afford. Eucalyptus oil mixed with leather and expensive cologne. This wasn't LA Fitness. This was Aurelius Performance Club. Members only. No public access. The kind of place where hedge fund managers trained between market closures and tech billionaires pretended humility didn't apply to them. Hi friend, before we continue the story, kindly tell us where are you watching from? And hit that subscribe button now for you to get more. And I have something new for you tomorrow. Stay tuned. Thanks, let's continue. Malik set the mop against the mirror. Slow. Deliberate. His name tag caught the light. Maintenance staff. Invisible until inconvenient. Sir, I'm working. That word. Sir. It landed wrong. Too calm. Too controlled. Sterling's boys laughed. 3 of them lined against the wall like expensive furniture. Dallas oil money. Seattle tech cash. Miami real estate blood. They'd flown in for the weekend. Private jets. Rooftop bottles. Sparring sessions where losing meant nothing because winning was guaranteed. Come on, Sterling said, rolling his shoulders. 1 round. For fun. Fun. The word hung there like bait. Malik looked at him. Really looked. Not the way employees look at bosses. The way predators study prey before deciding if the hunt's worth it. I don't think that's. I'm a paying member. Sterling stepped closer. You work here. Consider it part of the service. Someone pulled out a phone. Recording. Because humiliation makes great content when it's not yours. Malik's hand flexed once. Just once. Knuckles that had seen things these boys couldn't imagine. Scar tissue hidden under brown skin that told stories money never bought. 22 years. That's how long it had been since he'd stepped on a mat that mattered. 22 years since Las Vegas. Since bright lights and roaring crowds, and a nickname that still echoed in certain circles. The Quiet Lock. Undefeated. Rising. Sponsored. Until one night. One opponent who wouldn't tap. One choke held 3 seconds too long. One fractured spine. One lawsuit. One career ending in a hospital hallway that smelled like regret and antiseptic while his younger brother whispered, "Was it worth it?" Malik had sworn. Never again. But Sterling didn't know that. Sterling didn't know anything. Unless you're scared, Sterling said. The room shifted. Subtle. The way air pressure drops before a storm. Malik bent down. Picked up the gloves. Turned them over in his hands like he was weighing options. Or memories. Or consequences. The Dallas kid grinned. He's about to get destroyed. Sterling bounced on his toes. Loose. Ready. Already planning the story he'd tell at dinner. The time he sparred the janitor. Good laugh. Great content. Malik stepped onto the mat. No hesitation. No dramatic pause. Just movement. He set his work gloves down. Neat. Precise. Rolled his neck once. The sound cracked like kindling. Sterling raised his hands. Clock starts now. And that's when Malik's eyes changed. Not angry. Not afraid. Something else. Something that made the Seattle kid lower his phone slightly. Made the Miami money stop smiling. Made the air in that 75-story gym feel suddenly, inexplicably thin. Because the man standing across from Sterling Vance wasn't a janitor anymore. He was something they couldn't recognize. Yet, what happens when the person you underestimate knows exactly who you are? Sterling moved first. Fast. Confident. A jab followed by a leg feint. Textbook. The kind of combination that looked good on Instagram and worked on amateurs. Malik shifted left. Barely. An inch. Maybe 2. The punch sailed past his ear. No block. No counter. Just geometry. Sterling reset. Frowned. Okay. You've got some footwork. Malik said nothing. His hand stayed low. Relaxed. Like he was still holding the mop. The boys exchanged glances. This wasn't the script. Where'd you train? Sterling asked, circling. YouTube. Laughter. Forced now. Because something felt off. Malik's breathing hadn't changed. Slow. Measured. While Sterling's chest already showed the first signs of effort. Sterling shot forward. Low. Going for the legs. A takedown. End this quick. Make it clean. Malik's hips rotated. Small adjustment. Sterling's hands grabbed air. Momentum carried him forward. Off balance. He caught himself. Scrambled back up. Face flushed. Lucky, he muttered. But it wasn't. The Seattle kid zoomed his camera closer. Yo, this guy moves weird. Not weird. Efficient. Every motion minimal. No wasted energy. No unnecessary movement. Like watching a machine designed for one purpose and nothing else. Sterling came again. Harder. Combination. Jab. Cross. Hook. Knee. Malik slipped. Blocked. Pivoted. Redirected. Not aggressive. Not flashy. Professional. The kind of defense you don't learn from weekend seminars or private lessons with washed-up fighters charging $300 an hour. You learn it in competition. Under pressure. When losing meant everything. Sterling's breathing got heavier. Frustration creeping in. He'd expected folding. Begging. Entertainment. Not this. Not resistance. You gonna fight back or just run? Sterling snapped. Malik's voice came quiet. Steady. I told you. I'm working. That calm. That control. It was worse than trash talk. Because it meant Sterling wasn't a threat. He was an inconvenience. The Dallas kid leaned forward. Wait. Is he playing with him? Sterling heard it. Felt it. The shift in the room. Mockery turning to curiosity. Curiosity turning to doubt. He couldn't have that. So he stopped playing. Sterling lunged. Full commitment. No technique. Just ego and muscle and the belief that effort beats skill. Malik saw it coming 3 moves ahead. He sidestepped. Caught Sterling's wrist mid-swing. Turned his hips. Used Sterling's momentum against him. And suddenly Sterling was airborne. Not thrown. Guided. He hit the mat. Hard. Shoulder first. The sound echoed like dropped weight. The room froze. Sterling lay there. Stunned. Not hurt. Just shocked. Nobody laughed. The Miami money whispered. What the hell just happened? Malik stood over him. Calm. Unmarked. Not even breathing hard. He extended a hand. Sterling stared at it. Then at Malik's face. Searching for something. Anger. Gloating. Anything he could use. But Malik's expression gave nothing. Just patience. Sterling slapped the hand away. Rolled to his feet. Pride wounded deeper than his shoulder. Again, he said. Sir. Again. The Seattle kid's phone captured everything. The flush in Sterling's cheeks. The tension in his jaw. The way his hands shook slightly when he raised them. Not from exertion. From rage. Because for the first time in his life, Sterling Vance was losing something he couldn't buy back. Control. And Malik hadn't even started trying yet. How far will pride push a man before he realizes he's already lost? Sterling attacked like drowning men grab ropes. Desperate. Sloppy. All power, no precision. Malik moved like water. Formless. Unavoidable. A hook came fast. Malik ducked under. Rose behind Sterling's guard. His palm touched Sterling's ribs. Light. Almost gentle. Pressure point. Sterling's breath hitched. He stumbled back. Eyes wide. What? Malik was already gone. Circling. Hands still low. Still calm. The Dallas kid stood up straight. Hold up. That's not beginner shit. No, it wasn't. That was competition-level body awareness. Ring IQ. The kind of control that takes years to build and decades to master. Sterling wiped his mouth. Tasted copper. Bit his lip during the last exchange without realizing. Who are you? The question came out quieter than intended. Malik didn't answer. Because the answer wasn't in words. Sterling reset. Changed tactics. Went low again. Grappling. Ground game. His specialty. Where size and strength mattered. Where technique met physics. He shot in clean. Caught Malik's leg. Started the takedown sequence. For half a second, it worked. Then Malik's weight shifted. Sprawled. Perfect timing. Perfect angle. Sterling found himself face down. Malik's knee pressed against his spine. Not hard. Just present. A promise. Tap, Malik said. Soft. Almost kind. Sterling didn't. Couldn't. Not in front of them. Not on camera. Not when his entire identity was built on being the guy who won. Malik increased pressure. Millimeters. Controlled. Precise. Pain bloomed up Sterling's back. Sharp. Specific. The kind that says one more inch and something structural breaks. Sterling's hand hit the mat. Twice. The tap echoed. Malik released immediately. Stood. Stepped back. Sterling stayed down. Forehead against canvas. Breathing hard. Not from effort. From humiliation. The Seattle kid lowered his phone slowly. No way. No way that just happened. But it did. In front of witnesses. On video. In a gym where reputation was currency and losing was bankruptcy. The Miami money looked at Malik differently now. Not as furniture. As something else. Something dangerous. Sterling pushed himself up. Slow. Every movement hurt. Not physically. Worse. He couldn't finish. Because he didn't know what Malik was. Just that he wasn't a janitor. Malik walked to the edge of the mat. Picked up his work gloves. Put them back on. Like nothing happened. Like he hadn't just dismantled a third-degree black belt in under 4 minutes. I should finish cleaning, Malik said. His voice. Still calm. Still polite. Still that word. Sir. But now it meant something different. Now it was armor. Sterling stood there. Chest heaving. Mind racing. Because pieces weren't fitting. Janitors don't move like that. Don't have that timing. That precision. That control. What belt are you? Sterling demanded. Malik paused. Looked back. And for the first time, something flickered across his face. Not pride. Not anger. Memory. 4th degree, Malik said quietly. The room inhaled. 4th degree. That wasn't weekend warrior status. That was lifetime dedication. Professional level. The kind of rank you didn't get from gyms like this. You got it from wars. Sterling's face went pale. You let me. Malik's expression softened. Almost sad. I tried to tell you, he said. I'm working. He turned toward his cart. Grabbed the cleaning solution. And that's when the gym door opened. A man in a tailored suit rushed in. Late 40s. Expensive watch. Panic in his eyes. Mr. Rowe, he stopped. Saw the scene. The mat. Sterling's face. The onlookers. His expression changed. Horror. Realization. Sir, the man said, voice tight. We didn't know you were here today. Mr. Rowe. Not Malik. Not janitor. Mr. Rowe. The Dallas kid's mouth fell open. Sterling blinked. What? And that's when everything changed. Who really owns the room you're standing in? The man in the suit looked like he'd walked into a crime scene. His name was Gregory Chun. Facility manager. Boston money. Wharton MBA. Paid 6 figures to make sure members never knew how things worked behind curtains. And now the curtain was on fire. Members, Gregory said, voice strained. Professional smile cracking at the edges. I apologize for the interruption. Sterling stared. Who is Mr. Rowe? Gregory's eyes went to Malik. Pleading. Silent communication. Malik set down the spray bottle. Slow. Deliberate. It's fine, Gregory. That voice. Still quiet. But the tone had shifted. Authority leaked through the cracks. The kind you can't fake. Can't buy. Can't learn from seminars. You earn it. Or you're born into it. Gregory swallowed. Sir, perhaps we should. They should know, Malik interrupted. Not harsh. Just final. He looked at Sterling. Then at the boys. The cameras. The windows framing Manhattan like a throne room. This facility, Malik said slowly, exists because I funded it. Silence. Not quiet. Silence. The kind that crushes sound. Makes ears ring. Turns seconds into hours. The Seattle kid's phone almost slipped from his hand. 22 years ago, Malik continued, I liquidated my fight earnings. Some tech investments. Early stakes in a Boston biotech company. Sterling's face went white. Boston. Biotech. No. Used that money to build training centers, Malik said. For kids who couldn't afford places like this. This Manhattan location. He gestured around. Majority equity. Mine. The Dallas kid sat down. Legs stopped working. Gregory looked at the floor. Wished it would open. The company I invested in, Malik continued, voice still even, became one of the largest oncology research firms in New England. He looked directly at Sterling. Your father's company. The words landed like artillery. Sterling's mouth opened. Closed. No sound came out. Because he knew the story. Everyone in his family knew. The seed funding that saved the startup. The anonymous angel investor who took equity when banks said no. The mysterious partner who never attended board meetings, but whose quarterly returns built the Vance fortune. That investor, that partner, was standing in front of him, wearing a maintenance uniform. You, Sterling's voice broke. You're nobody, Malik said gently. That's the point. He picked up his mop. I prefer observing. You learn more when people don't know who you are. Don't perform for you. Don't calculate responses. His eyes held Sterling's. You see who they really are. The Miami money stood frozen. Mind rewriting every interaction. Every dismissive glance. Every assumption. The way you spoke to me, Malik said quietly. The way you looked at me. That wasn't about sparring. Sterling's hands trembled. That was about power, Malik continued. You assumed you had it. Because of your membership. Your family. Your name. He stepped closer. But power without respect is just violence in expensive clothes. The words cut deeper than any choke. Any throw. Any submission. Because they were true. Sterling had seen a uniform. A mop. Brown skin. Assumed inferiority. Never questioned. Never wondered. Never saw the man. I stopped fighting, Malik said, voice dropping lower, because I hurt someone. Badly. Permanently. And I realized something. He looked around the gym. The imported mats. The designer equipment. The floor-to-ceiling views of a city built on hierarchies. Skill without control destroys more than opponents, he said. And humiliation isn't leadership. The Seattle kid's finger hovered over the delete button. Unsure. Terrified. Gregory cleared his throat. Mr. Vance, perhaps. How long have you been watching me? Sterling asked. Voice hollow. Malik's expression didn't change. 6 months. Since you joined. Why? Because your father asked me to. The room tilted. He's worried, Malik said simply. About who you're becoming. What you're learning. Whether money is teaching you the wrong lessons. Sterling's knees buckled slightly. So I come here, Malik continued. Once a week. Maintenance shift. Watch. Listen. See how members treat people they think don't matter. His eyes swept the room. Most fail. The Dallas kid looked at his shoes. The Miami money studied the ceiling. The Seattle kid deleted the video. Quietly. Malik turned back to his cart. I'll finish the West Wing, he said. Gregory, please comp their sessions today. My apologies for the disruption. He started walking. Sterling's voice cracked. Wait. Malik paused. Sterling's throat worked. Pride warring with something new. Something unfamiliar. Shame. I'm sorry, he whispered. Malik looked back. No satisfaction on his face. No victory. Just sadness. Sorry isn't for me, he said. It's for the next person you meet who can't defend themselves. And he walked out, leaving Sterling standing on a mat that suddenly felt like quicksand. In a gym he didn't own. In a building funded by the man he'd mocked. In a city where everyone's invisible. Until they're not. What lesson costs more, the one you pay for, or the one that breaks you? 3 weeks passed. Sterling stopped coming to the gym. At first. Then one morning, 6 a.m., he showed up. Different time. Empty facility. No audience. Malik was there, mopping the locker room. Sterling stood in the doorway, gym bag on his shoulder. Eyes different. Quieter. Can I? He stopped. Started again. May I train? Malik looked up. No judgment. Just observation. It's your membership. Sterling nodded. Started toward the mats. Stopped. Turned back. The person you hurt, he said quietly. The one who made you quit. Did they recover? Malik's hands tightened on the mop handle. Barely visible. Partially, he said. Wheelchair for 2 years. Can walk now. With difficulty. Sterling's face crumpled. His name was Marcus, Malik continued. Voice distant. Remembering. 21. Full scholarship to Arizona State. Wrestling. First in his family heading to college. The past tense hung there. I held the choke 3 seconds too long, Malik said. He wouldn't tap. Pride. I thought he'd tap. But he didn't. And I didn't let go. And when the ref pulled me off, he stopped. Sterling waited. Cervical spine damage, Malik finished. Career over. Scholarship gone. Future changed. That's why you became a janitor? Sterling asked. Malik's laugh came bitter. I'm not a janitor. I own this building. 3 others in Seattle, San Francisco, Miami. Partial stake in facilities in Dallas, Boston, L.A. Sterling blinked. But I clean, Malik said. Because humility isn't punishment. It's perspective. He met Sterling's eyes. Marcus didn't sue for money, Malik said. He sued for accountability. Said I needed to understand what it felt like to be invisible. To work jobs people look through. To exist in spaces where you don't matter. So you volunteered? Settlement terms, Malik said. I spend 6 hours weekly doing maintenance work. Any facility I own. For 10 years. We're in year 8. Sterling's throat worked. And you know what I learned? Malik asked. Sterling shook his head. The way people treat you when they think you're powerless? Malik said. That's who they really are. He pushed his cart toward the door. Most people fail that test, Sterling. Your father knows. That's why he asked me to watch you. Is he? Sterling's voice cracked. Is he disappointed? Malik paused. He's hopeful, he said. You came back. Alone. Different time. That means something. Sterling's eyes burned. But hope needs action, Malik continued. Apologies need proof. And change needs sacrifice. He looked back. What are you willing to give up to become who you should be? The question echoed. Sterling stood there. 6 a.m. Manhattan light bleeding through windows. Alone. Exposed. Raw. I don't know, he whispered. Malik's expression softened. Good, he said. That's where growth starts. He left Sterling standing there. In an empty gym. Built by invisible hands. Funded by invisible money. Where the only witness was the city itself. And the only judge was the mirror. 2 months later, Aurelius Performance Club announced new policies. Mandatory respect training. Scholarship programs for underprivileged athletes. Anonymous feedback systems for staff treatment. Funded entirely by Sterling Vance. The Seattle kid never posted his video. Deleted his account instead. Started working at a youth center in his neighborhood. The Dallas money quit the club. Joined a community gym. Stopped talking about net worth. The Miami developer sold his membership. Donated the refund to spinal injury research. And Sterling? He still trained. But differently. Quietly. Without audience. Learning that the strongest person in the room is usually the one nobody sees. Until it's too late. What would you sacrifice to learn who you really are? The envelope arrived on Sterling's desk at 4:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. No return address. Just his name. Handwritten. Expensive paper. He opened it standing by the window. 42nd floor. Different building. His office now. Not his father's. Inside, a single photograph. Marcus Williams. Standing. Unassisted. Physical therapy gym in Phoenix. Smiling. On the back, 3 words in neat script. He's walking again. Sterling's hands shook. He pulled out his phone. Dialed. The number he'd called 17 times in 2 months. The one that never went to voicemail. Just rang. And rang. This time, someone answered. Hello. The voice. Younger. Uncertain. Is this Marcus Williams? Sterling asked. Pause. Who's asking? Sterling's throat closed. My name is Sterling Vance. I know Malik Rowe. Longer pause. The investor guy? Yes. Why are you calling me? Sterling looked at the photograph. Marcus's legs. Strong. Functioning. Alive. Because I need to know if it's possible, Sterling said quietly. If what's possible? To fix what you broke. The line went silent. Not dead. Just heavy. You can't fix it, Marcus said finally. You can only build something different. Sterling sat down. Hard. Malik told you to call, didn't he? Marcus asked. He sent a picture. Marcus laughed. Bitter. Yeah, that sounds like him. Dramatic, old man. You're walking. Some days better than others. Steel rod in my spine. Nerve damage. Chronic pain. But yeah, walking. Sterling's vision blurred. You want to know the worst part? Marcus asked. Tell me. It's not the pain. Or the surgeries. Or the years I lost. Sterling waited. It's knowing someone saw me as an obstacle. Marcus said. Not a person. Just something in his way. Something to break through. The words landed like fists. I did that, Sterling whispered. To Malik. I saw a janitor. Not a man. Then you learned something, Marcus said. Took me longer. Took a broken spine and 2 years in a chair before I understood. Understood what? That ego kills more than car crashes. Sterling pressed his forehead against the glass. New York spread below. Millions of people. How many invisible? How many dismissed? Malik's been funding my medical bills, Marcus said. Every surgery. Every therapy session. For 8 years. Never asked for anything. Nothing. Just that I tell people my story, Marcus said. When they're ready to hear it. You ready? Sterling nodded. Realized Marcus couldn't see him. Yes. Then listen close. What story are you avoiding that could save someone else? 6 months later, Sterling stood in a Dallas community center. No cameras. No press. Just folding chairs and fluorescent lights and 20 kids who didn't know his name. My name is Sterling, he said. Voice steady. Different. And I'm here to tell you about the worst thing I ever did. The kids stared. Ages 12 to 17. Some foster care. Some juvenile programs. All court-mandated community service. All invisible to people like the old Sterling. I humiliated someone, he continued. Publicly. On purpose. Because I thought I had the right. A girl in the back row crossed her arms. So what? Everyone gets clowned. You're right, Sterling said. But I did it because he was working. Because he looked different. Because I assumed he was less than me. The room shifted. Attention sharpened. Turns out, Sterling said, he owned the building I was standing in. Had more money than my family. More skill than I'd ever have. But I never saw it. A boy near the front leaned forward. Why not? Because I wasn't looking for a person, Sterling said. I was looking for someone to be better than. Silence. His name is Malik Rowe, Sterling continued. And he taught me that respect isn't about what you have. It's about who you see. The girl in back uncrossed her arms. After he embarrassed me, Sterling said, he could have destroyed my reputation. Could have sued my family. Could have banned me from his facilities. What did he do instead? Someone asked. He cleaned the gym, Sterling said. Like nothing happened. Because to him, proving he was better wasn't the point. Teaching me was. He walked to the front row, sat on the edge of the table. I started a scholarship program after that, he said. Paid for kids like you to train. To compete. To have access to places that usually lock you out. Why? The girl asked. Voice softer now. Because Malik asked me a question, Sterling said. He asked what I was willing to give up to become who I should be. What did you give up? Sterling smiled. Sad. Real. Pride, he said. Assumptions. The idea that my money meant I was worth more. He looked around the room. Any of you ever felt invisible? He asked. Every hand went up. Yeah, Sterling said. Me too. Now. And it's the best thing that ever happened to me. After the session, a boy approached. Thin. Quiet. Name tag, said Jamal. Mr. Vance. Just Sterling. That guy? Malik. He really owned the whole building. Sterling nodded. And he was cleaning toilets? Mopping floors. Emptying trash. Yeah. Jamal's eyes narrowed. Thinking hard. Why would someone rich do that? Sterling crouched down. Eye level. Because power without perspective is just violence in nice clothes, he said. And the only way to keep perspective is to remember what it feels like to be dismissed. Jamal stood silent. Processing. You think I could meet him? He asked. Sterling pulled out his phone. Texted. 30 seconds later, response vibrated. Saturday, Sterling said. 10 a.m. Aurelius Club. Manhattan. I'll pick you up. Jamal's face transformed. For real. For real. The boy walked away. Different. Lighter. Sterling watched him go. Remembered being that age. That hungry. That certain the world owed him something. His phone buzzed again. Malik. Proud of you. 3 words. That's all. But they meant more than any deal Sterling had closed. Any promotion. Any inheritance. Because they came from someone who'd earned the right to judge. And chosen to believe instead. Can redemption be measured in the lives you change after yours gets destroyed? Saturday came cold. Jamal stood outside the Aurelius Club. Looking up. 75 stories. Glass and steel and money. Sterling waited at the entrance. No suit today. Jeans. Sweater. Human. You ready? Sterling asked. Jamal nodded. Couldn't speak. Overwhelmed. They rode the elevator in silence. Numbers climbing. Jamal's reflection in the polished doors. Thin jacket. Borrowed shoes. Out of place. Or so he thought. The doors opened. Malik stood there. Work uniform. Mop bucket. Calm eyes. Jamal blinked. You're the janitor, Malik finished. Smiled. And the owner. Both true. He extended his hand. Jamal shook it. Noticed the grip. Strong. Confident. Real. Sterling tells me you have questions, Malik said. Why do you clean if you don't have to? Malik started pushing the bucket. Gestured for them to follow. Come with me. They walked through the facility. Malik pointing out details. The imported mats. The custom equipment. The city views. I built this place, Malik said, because I knew what it felt like to be locked out. To have talent, but no access. Skill, but no opportunity. He stopped at a window. Looked out. But money changed me, he continued. Made me forget. Made me think I was different. Special. What reminded you? Jamal asked. Malik's expression darkened. Memory crossing his face. I hurt someone, he said. Badly. Because I stopped seeing him as human. Just saw an obstacle. Someone to beat. Jamal glanced at Sterling. Understanding dawning. So now I clean, Malik said. To remember that everyone matters. Everyone has a story. Everyone deserves to be seen. He looked at Jamal directly. You feel invisible. Jamal nodded. Good, Malik said. Use it. Watch. Learn. See how people treat those they think don't matter. Then decide who you want to be. He handed Jamal the mop. Clean that section, Malik said, pointing. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Jamal stared. You want me to? Yes. Sterling started to protest. Malik raised a hand. Trust me. They left Jamal alone. 10 minutes later, they returned. Jamal stood still. Mop untouched. Why didn't you clean? Malik asked. No anger. Just curiosity. Because 3 people walked past me, Jamal said quietly. 2 didn't look. 1 told me I missed a spot. Didn't ask my name. Didn't see me. Malik nodded. And how did that feel? Jamal's voice cracked. Like I didn't exist. Now you understand, Malik said. He took the mop back. Every person you meet is fighting a battle you can't see, Malik said. Carrying weight you don't know about. Deserving dignity you might not think to give. He looked between Sterling and Jamal. You 2 come from different worlds, he said. But you both learned the same lesson. Being dismissed breaks something inside you. And once it's broken, you have 2 choices. What choices? Jamal asked. Break others the same way, Malik said. Or build them up instead. Sterling put his hand on Jamal's shoulder. I chose wrong first, Sterling said. Cost me everything that mattered. But Malik gave me a second chance. Why? Jamal asked. Malik smiled. Because I got one too. From Marcus, the man I hurt. He could have destroyed me. Instead, he taught me. He started walking toward the training area. Come on, he said. I'll show you both something. They followed. The mat stretched empty. Morning light bleeding through windows. Get on, Malik said. Sterling and Jamal looked at each other. Stepped onto the canvas. Now, Malik said. Show me what you think strength looks like. What would you do if the person you dismissed turned out to be the one who saved you? 1 year later. The Aurelius Scholarship Program announcement hit the news on a Wednesday. $10 million committed. Full funding for 200 underprivileged athletes annually. Training. Equipment. Competition fees. College placement support. Funded entirely by Sterling Vance and anonymous donors. The anonymous donor was Malik. The press conference happened at the Manhattan facility. Cameras. Reporters. City officials. Sterling stood at the podium. Different man. Same face. This program exists because I was taught a lesson I'll never forget, he said. That dignity isn't negotiable. That respect isn't earned by what you own. And that the people we overlook often have the most to teach us. He paused. I'm announcing today that I'm stepping down as partner at my firm. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. I'll be working full-time with this foundation, Sterling continued. Not because I'm charitable. Because I'm grateful. Someone gave me a second chance when I didn't deserve one. Now I'm passing it forward. Questions erupted. Who taught you this lesson? Sterling looked to the back of the room. Malik stood there. Work uniform. Leaning against the wall. Invisible to most. He's here if you want to meet him, Sterling said. Cameras turned. Malik pushed off the wall. Walked forward. Calm. Unhurried. The room quieted. I'm Malik Rowe, he said. I own this building. And 3 others. I also clean them. Confusion crossed faces. Why both? A reporter asked. Because power without humility destroys, Malik said simply. And I refuse to forget where I came from. Or who I hurt getting here. He looked at Sterling. This young man mocked me once, Malik said. Publicly. Assumed I was less than him because of what I wore. How I looked. Sterling's jaw tightened. Shame still fresh. But instead of destroying him, Malik continued. I taught him. Because my mentor did the same for me. A man named Marcus Williams. Who I injured. Who forgave me. Who showed me that breaking people is easy. Building them takes courage. He stepped beside Sterling. We're launching something else today too, Malik said. Sterling pulled out a folder. The Marcus Williams Recovery Fund, Sterling announced. Supporting athletes with spinal injuries. Medical costs. Rehabilitation. Career transition. Fully funded. Permanent. Malik's eyes glistened. Marcus couldn't be here today, Malik said. But he knows. And he's proud. Because the cycle of harm ends when someone chooses differently. A reporter raised her hand. What do you want people to take from this? Malik looked directly at the camera. That the person you dismissed today might be the one who saves you tomorrow, he said. That wealth without character is just numbers. And that real strength isn't dominating others. It's lifting them up. The conference ended. Cameras packed up. Reporters left. Officials shook hands and departed. Sterling and Malik stood alone in the empty gym. Thank you, Sterling said quietly. For what? For seeing who I could be instead of who I was. Malik smiled. I saw myself. Young. Arrogant. Certain I was owed something. He looked around the facility. Marcus saw me the same way, Malik said. Gave me the gift of consequence. And the grace of redemption. Will I ever stop feeling guilty? Sterling asked. No, Malik said. And that's good. Guilt without action is just self-pity. But guilt with purpose? That changes the world. He put his hand on Sterling's shoulder. You're doing the work, Malik said. That's what matters. They walked toward the windows. The city spread infinite below. How many people down there feel invisible right now? Sterling asked. Most of them, Malik said. How do we change that? Malik looked at him. One person at a time. One conversation. One moment of seeing someone. Really seeing them. He picked up his mop bucket. I've got the west wing to clean, he said. Sterling grabbed a second mop. I'll help. Malik raised an eyebrow. You sure? Cameras are gone. No one's watching. That's exactly why I should do it, Sterling said. And together, they cleaned. Billionaire and former ego. Investor and student. Two men who learned that the floor you stand on matters less than the people you stand with. Below them, the city moved. Oblivious. Rushing. Everyone fighting battles nobody sees. But on the 75th floor, two people chose differently. They chose to see. And that made all the difference. How many lives will you change once you stop trying to prove you're better than everyone else? 5 years later, Jamal Williams graduated from NYU. Full scholarship. Business degree. Job offers from 3 Fortune 500 companies. He turned them all down. Instead, he stood in a community center in Dallas. The same one where Sterling had spoken. Same folding chairs. Same fluorescent lights. Different speaker. My name is Jamal, he said to 30 kids. And I'm here to tell you about the day I became visible. The kids stared. Restless. Court-mandated. Uninterested. I met a janitor once, Jamal continued. Owned the building he was cleaning. Had more money than I'll probably ever see. But he mopped floors anyway. A boy in the front row frowned. Why? Because he wanted to remember what it felt like to be overlooked, Jamal said. And he wanted to teach people like me that your worth isn't your job. It's your character. The room settled. Attention caught. That man changed my life, Jamal said. Not with money. With time. He saw me when I felt invisible. Taught me when I felt worthless. Believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. What's his name? A girl asked. Malik Rowe, Jamal said. And if you're serious about changing your life, I can introduce you. After the session, Jamal called Malik. Got 5 new candidates, Jamal said. Malik's voice came warm through the speaker. Good. Bring them Saturday. You sure you have time? I know you're traveling. I always have time, Malik said. That's the whole point. Jamal hung up. Looked at the list of names. Kids from broken homes. Foster care. Juvie. Invisible to most. Visible to him. Because someone had seen him first. Across the country, Sterling sat in a Seattle youth center. Teaching financial literacy to teens who'd aged out of the system. No cameras. No press. Just work. In Boston, Marcus Williams ran a physical therapy clinic. Specializing in spinal injuries. Free for anyone who couldn't afford it. In Miami, the former real estate developer taught construction skills to ex-offenders. Second chances built in concrete and steel. In San Francisco, the tech founders started a coding boot camp. Only requirement? You had to be someone everyone else had given up on. And in Manhattan, on the 75th floor, Malik Rowe mopped a gym. Slowly, carefully, while a new member watched. Young, wealthy, arrogant, making the same assumptions Sterling had made 5 years earlier. Malik smiled, because the lesson was about to repeat, and he was ready to teach it. Again, and again, for as long as it took. Because that's what real power looks like. Not domination. Education. Not humiliation. Elevation. Not proving you're better. Making others better. The black belt had asked a janitor to spar for fun. What happened next didn't just silence a gym. It started a movement. One that spread through New York, Dallas, Boston, Seattle, San Francisco, Miami, LA. Cities built on hierarchies, learning that the strongest foundation is dignity. That wealth without character crumbles. That seeing people costs nothing but changes everything. And that sometimes the greatest power in the room is wielded by the person everyone overlooks. Until they can't anymore. Malik set down his mop. Walked to the new member. Extended his hand. Need help with your form? He asked. The young man looked at the uniform. The mop. The brown skin. Hesitated. Then made his choice. And the cycle began again. Because some lessons need repeating. until everyone finally learns that we're all invisible to someone, until we choose to see. What will you do differently tomorrow because of what you learned today? Subscribe now and turn on notifications because next week we're bringing you another story that will shake everything you thought you knew about power, respect, and what it really means to win. You don't want to miss it. Hit that subscribe button right now. See you in the next one.